our dear brother Muhammad Amin, one of his relatives passed away in Bangladesh today. We'll make dua for him, inshallah. Allahumma aghfir lahu warhamhu wa akrim nuzulahu wa wasi' mudkhalahu wa aghsilhu bil ma'i wal thalji wal barad wa naqqihi min adh-dhunubi wal khataaya kama yunqqa ath-thawbu al-abyadu min ad-danas. Allahumma abdilhu daran khayran min darihi wa ahlan khayran min ahlihi. اللهم إن كان محسنا فزد في إحسانه وإن كان مسيئا فتجاوز عن سيئاته. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة. اللهم ارحمه وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم لا تفتنا بعده ولا تحرمنا أجره واغفر لنا وله يا رب العالمين. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. So, Subhanallah, my brothers and sisters, we are talking about the same topic. When you read the Quran and the Sunnah, they are full of promises. Allah promised, I will give you this. And this is where the test happened to us. Because sometimes when you see the reality and you see the promise, they don't match. And what will make you believe in the promise is how much faith do you have. I recited from which surah? The first line of defense is here. Then you are the second line of defense. Which surah? Al-Baqarah, mashallah. And I stopped which verses? Verses that talk about what? About money. I know you don't want to say it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised, look this promise, please, I want you to pay attention to me. He said the example of those who gave for the sake of Allah. Number one, sake of Allah. Is like a grain that gives how many grains? Huh? How much? 100. Total, give me the total. 700. One grain gives 700. Yeah. And by the way, this is not the maximum. Allah can give you more than that. Wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha' ad'afan mudha'afa. So he said if you spend $1 for his sake, how much he's going to give you? $700. Tell me in the whole world, anybody who can give you this return. What is the maximum return? 3%. Huh? 3%? You are in the business. MashaAllah. Let's make it 6%. Let's make it 10%. And if you give $1, you're going to get? 10 cents. Allah al-Azim. Oh, he answered. 10 cents. So how? What will make you believe in that? You give. That's why I tell people, and I tell myself, Muslim, all of us, we should be rich. No exception. Why? Because Allah promised you here, if you give, I'll give you up to 700. What will make, look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is helping us. I'm using this example, and you can apply it in your life for everything. How Allah is helping us to believe in that. Wow, Allah can do it. Is what we said, is to believe in the qudra of Allah. لِتَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. That's why before these verses, مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع so on. He gives you 3 stories before. That's why when you read the Quran, I want you to read it with this understanding. When there is a story, when there is something, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing you for something else. So 3 stories, and you yourself, you're going to come to the conclusion that in Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. So if you believe him in the 3 stories, by default you have to believe him in what? When he said, if you spend, I give you. The first story is what? The story of Ibrahim and Namrud. And the three stories are talking about al-Qudra. Qudratullah ta'ala. Ibrahim, he told this man that Allah who gave him the power, by the way. Alam tara ila alladhi hajja Ibrahim fi rabbihi an atahu Allahu al-mulk. If this man, he has some sense, who gave me this in the first place? But arrogance does that, subhanallah. It's blind. إذ قال إبراهيم ربي الذي يحيي. My Lord is the one who gives life and gives death. This foolish man, what did he say? Also I do the same. What do you mean you do the same? Some scholar, he said, he brought two people. One was sentenced to death and was an innocent person. So he killed the innocent person and he forgave the other one that was sentenced to death. Is that what is Ibrahim talking about? Ibrahim is talking about something else. When you are in the womb of your mother, who breathed the soul in you? That is giving life. And death is to take that soul without anything's happening to your body. Your body is intact. And that soul is being pulled out. So Ibrahim, he moved to another argument. He said, well, if you can do that, my Lord does what? فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْتِي بِالشَّمْسِ مِنَ الْمَشْرِقِ. Allah caused the sun to rise from the east. If you have the power, make the sun rise from the west. Then what happened? فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. The disbeliever was defeated. Even do we know one day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the sun rise from west. That is the power. And this story happened. So you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is building that belief of His power in you. Then he moved to the second story, the story of Al-Uzair. يعني أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها. He passed by this village is dead. No human being, no animal, no vegetation, no water, no nothing. Then he asked the question, قال, where is Adam? قال أنى يحيي هذه الله بعد موتها. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring this town to life? And He's not asking question like we do in a form of objection. No, because Al-Uzair is a prophet. But to see the power of Allah. And we said many times that the knowledge is three levels. Ilmu al-yaqeen. When you are told something and you believe the person who told you, you have the knowledge. If I tell you, I have place in Morocco in this place. Do you believe me? Yes. That is called the ilm al-yaqeen. If I show it on a video, I show you the place. So we moved from the knowledge of certainty to what? لا عين اليقين. You see it. خلاص. If I take you with me to Morocco and we sit together in that place, that's called حق اليقين. So this prophet, he wants to move from al-yaqeen to see it. Then Allah showed him His power. What happened? فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ مِئَةَ عَامٍ. Allah caused him to sleep for 100 years. Then He wake him up. And He asked him, for how long you been asleep? He said what? A day or half a day. Why he say a day or half a day? We explained that. Huh? No. No. How he knows a day or half a day? Because there is no change on him. No change. Nothing. Then Allah told him, no, you've been asleep for 100 years. So what is the proof? The food also sitting there, his food, no change. And by the way, there is no freezer. Okay? So the same food for 100 years. You see the power of Allah? Then the proof, he has to give him some proof to help him, not because he doesn't believe. He said, وَانظُرْ إِلَىٰ حِمَارِكَ. Look at your donkey. The donkey is what? Becomes what? Just bones. Then at the end, he came to the conclusion himself. فَلَمَّا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ قَالَ أَعْلَمُ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Then he gives you third story. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala built the iman in you. That's why the Quran is everything. But you read it with this understanding. Because he wants something from you to give. And I'll give you. And still, we struggle. So he comes with the story of what's the last story? Ibrahim. Ibrahim, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قال رب أرني كيف تحيي